So we're still in course management. It's worth noting that once we connect our course roster, we do see this new icon within the left navigation. This is the courses icon. So if we click on this, this takes us back to our courses page and all of our courses that are connected from Canvas to the product. Go back into Philosophy 101. This step's important, right? Because now it involves how we actually take data that we already have and collected through our poll presentation and pass it back to Canvas. So I'm actually going to name this something different just so it stands out. Today's date is 5/21/25. Let's call it that instead. I might have a couple other assignments that are called test. We want to add activities to the assignment. So these are the polls that we presented that gathered results, and they're going to be part of this assignment. So I'm going to take either, let's see, I just have something called gradebook test. You can have 1 or 100 polls that are part of an assignment. So I'm just going to add this one question. It's also worth noting that you can pass data back from Poll Everywhere to Canvas as frequently as you like. What I see most commonly is a weekly participation score, right? Maybe you have a week 1 assignment, a week 2 assignment, a week 3 assignment, and right, we pass back data from that week at the end of each week. Or, right, you could just do one assignment that's called polling participation, and we just pass everything back to Canvas at the end of the semester. So it's up to you how frequently you want to pass data from Poll Everywhere back to Canvas. It's worth noting the important thing here is that we create one new column in Canvas per assignment. So if you have 6 assignments, and that'll essentially be 6 different grade columns in Canvas. You'll see when I pass this gradebook report back that I have many columns in Canvas, specifically for training sessions and things like that. But yeah, conceptually, we need to make sure that we add polls to the assignment, right? The data within those polls is what's counting as part of the assignment. So I've added one poll just for our example here. We can click View Grades to preview what those grades look like. It looks like Dan Student, who is the only student that participated in this poll as part of Philosophy 101, did receive the appropriate amount of points. So I participated, I received my point for participation. However, I was not checked in for attendance. So the legend here is helpful. It's kind of a quick view sheet or grade sheet as, hey, does the data look right, before we pass it back to Canvas. So the data looks right to me. I'm going to click Sync Grades. Should produce a timestamp here under last grade sync, just letting me know when that last sync occurred. And we only have one poll question. If we have 10, 15, 20 or more, it may take a little bit of time. And I'll head over to grades in Canvas. So you can see once we get here, I have lots of different columns. So just individual columns for other example assignments. Our new grade item should be at the very end. And here we are. 5/21/25. Participation is called out specifically because that's the item that I'm using for tracking, right? I'm not using correctness. I just toggled participation. So this matches what I saw before passing it over. So Dan did receive that 1 point. It was just for participating in one poll. And this is that new column that we create right within Canvas. If I didn't create a new assignment and I had subsequent sessions, I can just continue adding activities to this assignment and pass back more data periodically throughout the semester. So if and when you were to do that, we would just simply update the existing column to reflect the new scores that are passed over. So it'll be more of a cumulative score. So this participation score for Dan is just based off of one session. If I wanted to, right, we had 3 sessions since this last gradebook update, right? I can pass data back again using the workflow that we just followed by adding additional polls, and then we'll update that column to reflect the grade based on the cumulative score.
Thank you for watching. Please email oit@pointloma.edu with any further questions.